Someone asked me the question, uh, is boxing a martial art or a fighting art, or can it be seen as or looked at as being a martial arts uh, fighting method, as it were? And my immediate answer would be yes. Maybe at some point in time through my uh, development coming up, I may have not seen it that way. But as I have matured, and since I did train in boxing and karate and jiu-jitsu and kung fu coming up, it was incorporated in the program, and we used it as part of our curriculum as far as fighting is concerned and sparring. So I would say that yes, boxing is indeed a martial art. Now, what defines a martial art to me? Uh, you have to have a foundation, not only of that physical thing which you practice, but the psychological aspect of your art or craft. And your foundation has to be predicated, first of all, on science and what is your purpose. If we're talking in terms of defense and protecting one's self, then yes, boxing is adequate. I know many boxers, and I have known many boxers that have been in street altercations and have defended themselves very well using their boxing skills. I've even heard of boxers faring very well against even so-called martial artists or karate guys over the years. So there is striking in boxing. Now, sometimes we can have a bias because there are not other types of martial arts techniques such as kicking, using those tactics and our techniques, and no chokeholds and throws and things like this. And we want to dismiss boxing altogether because our bias limits us to the way in which we were brought up, and we only want to see that one narrow way in which we were trained and are taught, and that's not fair. The same would be true if you studied boxing, and just because another individual studying karate and they kick, and you're saying, well, they've got kicking as an advantage, so maybe I'm not a good fighter because they have that advantage. No, it only means really that you're one dimensional. It means that you're using hand strikes and slipping and dodging and weaving and so forth, and maybe even an occasional headbutt if you have to defend yourself in a street confrontation. Whereas in martial arts, you have more tools. Uh, Traditional martial arts, let me clarify that. You have more tools. Your karate, your kung fu, and your Burmese Bando, things like this. Even your jiu-jitsu and your judo, you have throws, you have strangulation holds or scarf holds, and arm locks, and just different types of techniques outside of boxing. But just because a boxer does not have the kicking techniques in his or her repertoire does not mean that they are ineffective as a fighter or someone defending themselves in a street confrontation. So that's the thing that's highlighted. That's their strong point. That's their bread and butter or their hand strikes. Now, in all fairness, some karate guys can learn some lessons from boxers, and the same is true in the reverse or conversely. Boxers can learn how to kick or how to execute takedowns or sweeps or even simple judo slash jiu-jitsu throws, as it were. Let's say Ippon Senagi, which is a shoulder throw, or even Tai Toshi, which is a body drop, and even chokeholds and so forth, if the situation permits you to do it as far as time is concerned and there's not other people around trying to attack you at the same time, a one-on-one situation. But getting back to the crux of the matter and the real question, or the original question, is boxing and can boxing be looked at as a martial art? I would say definitely yes, but they're limited as a total package. If you have the ability to kick, doesn't mean that you have to make yourself a kicker. I'm just saying, if you're only fighting one dimensional, punching, and you have the ability to kick, wouldn't it be smart? Wouldn't it at least be wise to understand how kicking works and maybe even be able to throw maybe a couple kicks and add that to your repertoire. And the same is true for martial artists or karate guys. Wouldn't it be nice that you could even add boxing techniques to your training regimen as well? So it's about shared knowledge and shared experiences. Karate guys or martial arts, traditional martial arts guys, I should say again, can learn something from boxing, and boxing can learn something from karate or traditional martial arts as well. So let me know if you have ever studied boxing before or trained in boxing, or if you have ever been a boxer per se. And do you think that your skills are adequate enough in a street fight? Or if you think that you need to add something else, some other elements of martial arts such as kicking and elbow strikes like Muay Thai and so forth. I'd be happy to hear your comments and I shall respond as much as I possibly can. This is Brother Teacher. See you next time. So long.